doing?
They told me to bring the dough.
It's a baking show, not this kind of dough.
Oh, well, help me pick up my money.
Welcome to the Great American Baking Show, Holiday Edition.
Help me help.
Okay. Last week in the tent,
Wow, that's tough.
the bakers tackled pastry week.
Everything's better with butter.
And while some shined bright,
Oh, we got the handshake.
others ate humble pie.
The apples are underdone. I don't like that flavour at all. Unfortunately, it does have a soggy bottom.
But it was Chris who turned it around,
I love it. Actually, a perfect eclair.
taking home title of Star Baker. And Cheryl was unfortunately asked to leave the tent. Now with Cookie Week underway,
I do cookie platters every Christmas, so there's over 1,000 cookies in my...
who stays calm under pressure?
So you only have 5 minutes left.
Like, plenty of time.
And who crumbles?
Are you ready?
I was born ready.
Chocolate chip cookie,
Snickerdoodle,
black and white,
peanut butter,
jammy dodger.
macadamia nut. It's Cookie Week.
Last week, I ended up being Star Baker. So today, I'm definitely going in knowing that I have what it takes to go to the end of this competition.
I feel like over my lifetime, I've baked 12,391 cookies. I keep a running count.
Good morning, bakers.
You should all be so proud of all the hard work you've done so far.
And you're going to need to keep it up because Cookie Week is no joke.
And because 2 of you will be going home this week. And with that in mind, it's time for your signature challenge.
We're looking for 24 pieces of arugula with your choice of filling.
It must be 1.5 inches in width, and they must look perfectly alike. You have 2 hours for this challenge. On your marks,
Get set, bake.
Is Cookie Week.
Whew. I've made rugula before. Everybody looks forward to them.
To be honest, I'm a little bit of a cookie monster myself. We're asking them to create a spiral. What we're looking for is the balance between the arugula dough and the filling itself. If the filling is too thick, it'll push away from the pastry, so you end up with a gap. But above all, the arugula must be baked all the way through.
For me, it's all about that dough. You want it flaky. You want the filling to pop. Ultimately, with 2 people going home, it's the flavor that counts.
I'm a and we have a ton of limes from Key West.
Chris's Florida flavors are inspired by his grandmother's handwritten recipe book, which he still bakes from today.
Yeah, there's her bread pudding.
Oh, wow.
For his rugula, Chris is making a strawberry lime jam filling, rolled inside a lime-infused dough.
This is a dough mat, and I tend to use it because I don't have to add more flour.
I need to get one of these.
Why?
What are you gonna do with it?
I'm learning how to cook, man.
Bake.
I'm learning how to bake, okay?
Any sort of dough or pastry, you want to keep it as cold as possible, especially if it has butter in it, so that when you roll it out, the butter stays solid and you end up with a nice flaky pastry.
In this 5-spice, I have cinnamon, star anise, fennel, ginger, cloves, white pepper, and licorice. In this 5-spice, I have 7 spices.
Living in Lake Tahoe, Amanda loves spending time baking for her 3 boys.
Are you guys okay? Yeah! I just gotta finish my bake!
Amanda's Chinese 5-spice rugula also incorporates her by using crunchy Texas pecans in her filling, alongside chewy apricots and currants.
I just need to get it cooling, and then I can start rolling out my dough.
Dr. J.
We're excited to hear about your rugula.
My arugula is my version of a carrot cake. So I've grated my carrots, and I'm going to toast up some walnuts here in a little bit, and then a little bit of cinnamon.
It's going to be unusual, but it's all about the flavors.
Knife.
Okay.
When he isn't operating,
Lemon zester.
John loves to share his passion for baking with his kids.
Let's get the zest in here.
Reindeer Treat Rugula will have a carrot cake filling and a cream cheese frosting.
This is the red wine from my mulled figs. There we go. When my husband and I got married, we went to Germany as part of our honeymoon. And one of the things I fell in love with was the mulled wine.
After the hustle and bustle in Jason's everyday life,
I'm home.
he likes to end the day baking sweet treats for his husband. Jason's mulled fig and walnut rugula will be topped with spiced walnuts and a kiss of orange zest.
I like the idea you've got going through, especially the mulled wine.
Right.
I do cookie platters every Christmas, so at one point in time in my kitchen, when I'm putting all the platters together, there's over 1,000 cookies in my kitchen. Absolutely.
Living in upstate New York, Andrea loves to incorporate local and seasonal ingredients into her bakes. Her holiday fig rugula will be filled with fig and pine nuts and topped with her signature holiday sprinkles.
The filling that I'm using is actually a filling that I use every Christmas, so I feel fairly confident. We'll have to see.
We wish you a very good bake. We wish you a very good bake. But you only have an hour left.
Okay. Wow, this one's going by fast.
On a rare occasion, we don't have coffee in this bake. But my filling is orange, grapefruit, and lemon.
Baking was not a part of Jeevan's Indian upbringing, so as the only baker in his family, he loves to impress his parents with his sweet treats.
How about some brownies?
Okay, I can make you some brownies.
Jeevan's spiced citrus and walnut rugula, flavors of grapefruit, lemon, and orange, and will be finished with a dusting of cinnamon sugar.
I took some of your comments to heart from last time, and I decided to switch to orange, grapefruit, and lemon juice.
So the fresh fruits?
Yes.
Instead of the extract?
Exactly.
Now you're talking.
I got a feeling like everybody gravitates towards your house on Christmas.
Yeah, they do.
Do you do the 12 days of Christmas baking?
It's like more like the 15 to 20 days of cooking in my house.
Tina's Christmas.
Back home in New York, Tina loves to teach her kids about the benefits of baking with her own.
So there you go. Perfect.
Using some of her family's favorite flavors, Tina's rugula will be layered with a chocolate cherry filling and chopped pistachios.
These cookies are all about precision.
I have an apricot, walnut, and cinnamon rugula.
Right, have you practiced this?
Yes, I have. My son ate them all.
Oh, really?
Living in Chicago, Destiny loves spending time in the kitchen with her son.
Can you get some sugar for me?
Destiny will be using a classic holiday combination of brandy, apricot, finish them with a sugar and walnut mixture.
The filling to dough ratio is pretty important because you don't want it to all ooze out. So it pretty much needs to be even.
If you don't roll them tight enough, they fall apart. If you make them too big, they fall apart.
With two possible options, some bakers have chosen to make a nugget-shaped rugula.
Measure, measure, measure. Always measure.
By rolling their filled dough into a log, it allows them to easily measure and cut 24 identical pieces.
I really need to get them super cold so that they'll stay, hopefully.
Other bakers have chosen to go with crescent shape.
It's harder to get them evenly sized, so it's all in the way that you cut your wedges out.
If the pieces aren't perfectly uniform, it could result in an uneven bake.
I feel mine might be a little small, but they're still the 1.5 inches.
I'm doing it 350 for about 20, 25 minutes. Are yours in the oven yet?
No, yep. I'm chilling as long as I can. I just want to make sure they don't go blah, you know?
Yeah.
Because they're not cold.
No, I want to make sure they're done inside. That's why I put mine in.
And they go.
There goes Andrea. Andrea's are going in.
They're big today, so these ones might take a little bit longer.
I just wanted to be out and done.
30 minutes left.
All right, good luck, guys. It's a waiting game right now, absolutely. Good God. That's gonna be a photo finish. Good God. Oh, man.
Bakers, 9 minutes left.
9
Poor
minutes.
Andrea is freaking out.
I think I'll be good.
We're just gonna wait a little longer. I want them to be nice and brown, so I'm gonna leave them in as long as I can.
Are they 1.5 inches in
Yes,
width?
they are. They were a little over.
Well, for me, bigger the better.
There you go, right?
Why
Can't
not?
argue with that.
Why not?
They look nice and golden.
It's like a watched arugula never browns.
Bakers, you only have 5 minutes left.
That's like plenty of.
They came out looking like they do at home, so I'm pleased with them.
I'm feeling pretty good about them.
Not as dark as I would have liked, but they're looking good.
Everyone else is out.
You can't have carrot cake without frosting.
Getting a little orange zest on top of here.
Bake. It's just a cookie. It's just a cookie.
1 minute left.
Manta, are you okay?
Get it done.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That is it. Time is up.
It's just a cookie.
Ooh.
These are very festive.
Yes.
But I don't like a gap. It shouldn't be like that.
Why has it done that?
It's the steam that comes this away, and it's too thick.
So roll it out thinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I love the texture and the little crunch of the pine nuts.
Close.
Close. Got it.
I'm not sure whether the white goes on a pale-looking pastry.
Okay.
They look very much to me like cinnamon rolls. The carrot's lost. The spice just comes in and battles right over it, and you can't taste it.
Put a cool icing on the top. It's a shame.
You've got great color, I'll tell you that.
Oh my God. Oh, wow.
That's what I'm talking about. The flavors, the textures, the crispiness, the butteriness, the bake all the way through. The flavor.
Emotional. She's all emotional. See what that Hollywood handshake does?
Wow. When I woke up this morning.
Love the color.
I love the lamination that you got on the dough.
What am I going to say?
Something about the flavor.
I'd like to see more orange coming through. Use fresh orange.
Yes.
If you break it down with the sugar first, it'll really open up the flavors in the oil. That's a great trick.
Happy with them?
I wish they got a little more color on the outside.
Sometimes a bit of color's not a bad thing.
The dough itself has wonderful flavor. It's just, unfortunately, it's raw.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
Last week, Star Baker, and now it's humbling. I tell you, baking is humbling.
What is on the top?
That's the sugar and walnut mixture that I put inside. I just sprinkled some on top too.
Some.
Little dusting.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it is slightly underbaked. Hello.
Hi.
You got the full number?
Yes.
What's
What's wrong with it? Tell me.
The inside of the dough is still underbaked. So I love that you took a risk. You went with the 5 spices, and I think it added a great savory note.
The pastry's got a great flavor. It came down to the baking was
Right.
the issue.
Right. The dough is so flaky.
Christmas.
Your filling is so unique. I've never seen arugula done this way. I mean, certainly, I'll copy it next time.
Wow, okay.
Well done, Jace.
For a 3-time James Beard Award winner to say that she wants to make what I made, I don't think you can get a better compliment than that.
I I was not expecting a handshake, and this was definitely the week to get a handshake with 2 people being eliminated.
Cookies are supposed to be fun.
It's time for your technical challenge. We are asking you to make 20 chocolate-covered cranberry Florentines.
So a Florentine cookie is perfectly round, crispy with a slight bit of chew, and your tempered chocolate must be shiny and crispy as well.
And as always, with the technical bakes, the judges will rank each dish without knowing who made what.
Okay.
You have 1 hour and 15 minutes.
Get set, bake.
I've seen Florentines made before, but I haven't made them yet.
Preheat the oven to 350. Make the Florentine dough. That's where they lost me.
So, Sherry, why have you chosen Florentines as a technical challenge?
Well, I thought, what better way to have them up their cookie game than with a perfect lacy Florentine?
This is all about really getting their timing right.
Yep. If you leave it in if it's too short, it never really crisps up.
So how did they achieve those beautiful chocolate lines on the back of the Florentine?
You don't want it too wet because then all the lines flood back in. Too firm, and you see all scratches.
They're fantastic, aren't they?
Gorgeous.
For me, it's about getting that Florentine to snap. That's delicious. Tartness, sweetness, caramelization, snap, chew, tempering chocolate in an hour and a quarter. What could be simpler, really?
Much of the actual instruction tells you to make the dough and temper the chocolate, but not exactly how to do that.
It's not a traditional cookie where you're gonna cream your butter and sugar together. It's totally different.
With no help from Sherry's recipe, the bakers are finding their own way to make the Florentine dough.
I don't know. Let's see if that's good or not. I have no idea.
Consistency, I'm just looking to get this remelted, so nice and loose.
Like, I put this in the fridge, but it's grainy, so I don't think that that's right.
Florentines are not grainy. They're nice and crispy.
Divide the portions and place on baking sheets.
20 little balls.
Which is crazy because it doesn't seem like it's gonna make that much.
That looks like 1 for me.
Trying to use every bit of my mixture in here.
The bakers have only been given enough ingredients for 20 equally sized cookies.
I'm just gonna weigh my dough to make sure I have enough.
Trying to get these a little more uniform.
I want to get in the oven so I can see how they're going to come out.
Bakers, I know it feels like it's going very quickly, but you have 45 minutes left.
No idea. How much time? No idea.
I've set a timer for 5 minutes, after which I'm gonna check on those.
How do we think they're going?
I'm not really sure. This is a tough one.
I'm pulling them out. I didn't realize they were gonna come out this good. I'm happy.
See how this one spread? Florentines are supposed to be flat like a lace cookie, right?
It's got some holes in it, so it looks like lace, which is what I was hoping for.
Right now I'm tempering my chocolate.
This is definitely the hardest technical so far.
To correctly temper, the bakers must carefully take the chocolate through a process of heating and cooling, allowing the chocolate to form a smooth, shiny, and even color.
I think we have tempered chocolate, and I'm gonna see if it sets up and looks nice and shiny.
It's still too hot, I think. I don't know. Going down with the ship. We'll see what happens.
15 minutes left.
I can't watch.
I know.
Come on, zigzag, will ya?
In order to create the tradition Sherry has asked for, the tempered chocolate must be partially cooled.
These are horrible.
With time slipping away, this requires quite the dance between the fridge and the fork.
Is your freezer already full?
Yeah, do you need it?
Yeah.
One minute left.
Create classic zigzag pattern. I'm thinking on the top, so I don't know how they want them to look.
That's not zigzag.
We have different interpretations of the instructions. May the best baker win.
Ah, here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is up.
Please bring your beautifully made Florentines up to the table and place them next to your picture.
Sherry and Paul want a delicate, lacy caramel coating. Should be well tempered, complete with a zigzag pattern, and of course, a nice snap.
Should we start with this one? They're fairly uniform.
The temper looks good.
Oh, it snaps well.
It snaps fairly well.
But the taste is fine. It's crunchy, it's crisp. Slightly chewy in the middle as well. I'm quite impressed with that. Varying sizes.
You've got some babies and you've got some daddies and some grandpas. The whole family's here.
Tempered chocolate on the back. There is a former pattern. They do snap. Okay. There's a few issues with this. This mixture looks wrong. I think I've lost a tooth. Not good.
Not good.
Not good at all. These look extremely thin, and I quite like the colour.
The cookie has a good snap.
It's too thick,
There's no zigzag on the bottom here.
but they have a pattern on the top. I'm getting a slight bend.
You know what? Yours is a little bit thinner.
Yeah.
And see how thick that one is. So it'll take longer for this one to cook, so it burned this one.
These, again, are very irregular. It's almost quite dry, so the recipe's changed.
The color is beautiful, the great shine. Cranberries are distributed and the nuts are distributed well. Hear the snap?
Very delicate and a good flavour. Not bad at all.
The judges will now rank the bakers from 8th place to 1st.
Number 8, whose is this? What happened?
I've never made these before.
The mixture is quite solid.
In 7th. Jason, tell us what happened.
I think I added the flour a little too early.
Ah, okay.
Amanda is 6th, John is 5th, Chris is 4th, and Destiny is 3rd.
So, in 2nd place, we have this one. Whose is this? Do you know what? These are pretty good. Good size, a little bit irregular, good snap too.
Thank you.
And that leaves us with number 1. Really well done. I mean, lacy, caramelized, even having a little irregular, but overall the best of the day. Well done.
I feel really happy to have come first and gotten a reminder that I can be good at what I'm doing.
Now that I know how to make them, I'm gonna make them really well in my kitchen at home after, hopefully not this week.
So Spice and I are very excited about this showstopper because there's so much room to be creative.
So who's in line for Star Baker if they were?
I'm excited to see what Destiny does, or Tina, or Jeevan. It could be any one of those 3.
I'm feeling very attached to all our bakers. Do I have to be worried about anyone?
I would say John, Andrea, Jason, and you've got to put Chris in there as well.
There's 4 bakers.
There's 2 bakers going today.
Everything has to be on point.
I could not be a judge.
I couldn't.
Yeah, you could.
I could eat everything, but I couldn't be a judge.
Already.
Good morning, bakers!
Good morning.
So, Dave, and I hope you're ready for your showstopper challenge because it is like no other.
The judges want you to make 1 cookie cream tart.
It must have a Sablé cookie base, any flavour. It must be at least 2 layers with a delicious filling in between, please.
As if that wasn't enough. They want to see 1 dozen field macarons added to the design. You have 3 hours. On your marks.
Get set.
Bake.
I make cookie cream tarts fairly often, so I'm hoping that experience will make this a quick and painless process.
This week's Showstopper Challenge, we kicked it up a few. Level of difficulty, these. In order to make a great cookie cream tart, the sablé cookie should be buttery yet crispy, baked golden brown. It's important that these have a punch of flavor. We want yum. Yum, yum, yum.
So today I'm making a gingerbread man cream tart. I think the flavors are amazing and as holiday as you can get.
The butter-based sablé is a shortbread cookie that must be very cold in order to hold its shape while baking.
I'm sifting all-purpose flour and almond flour for my sablé cookie.
With multiple elements to manage, the bakers immediately start on their dough to ensure enough time to chill.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you explain what's in your sablé dough?
What does a sablé actually mean? It's French.
For sand cookie.
Oh, so have they got to be a bit gritty?
No. Think of a cookie dough.
So not gritty, like Sandy, no.
Like gratin, right?
Ignore me.
Andrea's sablé dough will be in the shape of a wreath, filled with raspberry and lemon Italian buttercreams and topped with vanilla raspberry macarons.
Do you feel that you've struggled on Cookie Week?
Yes, it was definitely challenging yesterday with the Florentine. Today's a new day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So I am doing a gingerbread man cookie cream tart. It's a vanilla sablé basis of gingerbread in there, so it's not a gingerbread cookie.
Jason's ginger-flavoured sablé will be filled with cinnamon mascarpone creme and decorated with chocolate orange macaron buttons and a bow tie.
Now, listen, Jason.
I think I know where this is going.
You can go from the sublime to the ridiculous.
I know.
We need some more consistency.
Yeah.
Good luck.
With the sablé dough made and chilling, the bakers move on to the most challenging step, making the ever-so-persnickety macaron batter.
Over or under macaroon batter is a common mistake.
It's a fussy cookie for sure.
The macaron, when it's finished, must have a crispy, shiny shell with a foot all around the bottom. They call it the feet. Introducing macaron into the cookie tart should be fairly straightforward, as long as their design is good enough. I'm looking for an artist, I'm looking for an architect, I'm looking for a great baker, I'm looking for passion. This is the showstopper. We want to look at it and go, that is incredible. How did you do it?
Oh, we caught you in the middle of?
I'm making my macaron at the moment.
Chris's lemon ginger cream tart is a Christmas tree with a lemon creme filling and decorated with lemon raspberry macarons.
The shape of my sablé is going to be a Christmas tree, and I'm just going from there with the decoration.
So you've got no idea what you're going to do.
Does that mean you're going to make it up?
We're going with how much time do I have left at the end.
2 hours left, bakers.
I've made macarons a few times, but I still consider myself a novice at it.
If not tapped and left to dry, the shells will not have that shine and foot that define a perfect macaron.
Do you use a template when you're piping?
I did, but...
Could you see it?
Yeah, they kind of ran after the fact.
To go along with his coconut blueberry macarons, John's winter snow cream tart will feature blueberry and coconut cream cheese fillings and a caramel sauce.
They are a bit uneven.
Yeah.
So these are 300, and they should take just about 12 minutes.
I'm just going to let them hang out there for maybe another 10-15 minutes to dry out a little bit. There's a kind of a delicate balance between crispy, like a meringue, and still having a chewy center.
With their macaron shells in the oven, the bakers start working on the fillings, a crucial element to ensure a powerful punch of flavor.
Coffee is back. Wasn't going to be gone for long.
Working with one of his favorite flavors, Jeevan's using an espresso Swiss meringue buttercream between 2 layers of chocolate sablé, his cookie creamed with peppermint mocha macarons and handmade truffles.
Interesting flavor combination. This is going to be a fascinating sensation.
I hope so, in a positive way.
Right now I'm cooking some raspberries and some sugar and a little bit of lemon zest, and this is going to go in my cream filling.
The blueberry will be in the bottom of my sablé tart. I tend to use a lot of blueberries, a lot of coconut around the holiday. So these are perfect flavors for me.
With her family's holiday favourites in mind, Destiny's Blueberry Coconut could feature a fresh blueberry cream cheese filling and be topped with coconut macarons.
I'm trying to use very fresh flavors in this because, you know, after a heavy holiday meal, you don't want to be weighed down with a real heavy dessert. So we've got lemon juice, butter, sugar, and some basil, or basil, as I call it.
Hoping to continue her sweet cookie success, Tina's Trim the Tree Cookie Cream Tart will be filled with mascarpone creme and decorated with hand-painted lemon basil and raspberry macaron ornaments.
I could smell the basil as soon as I walked over,
Yeah.
actually. I mean, the flavours sound amazing. You seem to have done quite well on Cookie Week so far. And you confident with this one?
I don't want to be confident. I want to not be complacent. I don't want to take anything for granted.
You can be confident, you can't be cocky.
All right.
Cookies are your sweet spot.
You could say that, yes.
Bakers, you have 1 hour left.
Okay.
You all right, Tina?
I'm great. I got feet.
Okay.
What more can you ask for? It's cookie week. They've got to be perfect.
You really shouldn't look in a girl's oven unless she lets you.
Amanda's almond coconut macarons will top her winter wreath cookie tart, which will be filled with a coconut diplomat creme and decorated with Swiss meringue kisses.
Not good. Not good. Never had it where they don't get feet and they're not getting feet. So now I'm making the macaron again.
You got scraps?
I got no scraps. I got
No
nothing
scraps.
for you. I got nothing. Nothing for you. You got to get out.
Okay.
You got to get out.
Okay. You tried to block me. Football right there.
I know. I got 3 boys. I got to get them out of the kitchen.
Yeah. You know how it is then.
I know how it is.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. Okay, I'm sorry. Good luck. Good luck. Okay.
Not good. Not good. I've just never had it where they don't get feet and they're not getting feet. So try to pipe again.
30 minutes left.
Cutting out the snowflake pattern. Gonna put it on a baking sheet.
As the clock ticks away,
This is so good.
the bakers rush to get their sablé cut and baked.
It's going to bake about 12 to 15 minutes at 350.
Everything cool.
And it's actually kind of hot in there.
This one looks good. Lightly brown on the edges.
Finally, the macaron have feet. Don't know how it's gonna taste, but we're gonna see.
With the sablés cooling, the bakers can start constructing their macarons, building and adding all the essential decorating elements.
Okay,
This is the moment.
I don't like the way this looks. I'm just taking it off.
Bakers, you have 10 minutes remaining.
Looks like I may have over-whipped the filling a little bit. It's a little broken almost. To do anything to fix this.
At this point, I don't have any time.
Just a few little last finishing touches.
I just need to get some type of color on here.
8, 9, 10, 11.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop.
Jeevan, you're up first.
Doesn't that look good?
Your footing on the macaron is perfect.
Curious flavour. That spiciness that comes from the peppermint really goes well with the chocolate, the coffee together.
Thank you.
The cookie itself, once you have it in your mouth, it melts.
I think it's delicious. I think what you've done is very, very clever. Bravo.
Thank you.
Destiny, I'm thrilled to see how perfectly you piped around the outside, because before we only had our flavors and we didn't have that level of refinement. And it's great to see a big difference.
I love the flavour. Overall, I think you've done a decent job.
I liked it. Thank you.
Looks as pretty as a picture. Let's hope it tastes as good as it looks. Indeed it does. I'm impressed so far. It's a mess. The ganache on top looks okay, but if you're going to do that, you have to be really precise.
You left them in the oven too long.
Big time. Let's have a look at the cookie.
Tell us about your cream.
I think I overwhipped it a little too much.
It's quite gelatinous, the cream. It's not nice.
No.
I think you've fallen way short of the mark on this one, Jace.
Certainly looks so festive.
I think your macarons are beautiful. You have two tangs coming from the raspberry and the lemon as well. It's ingenious, it really is, because I think it works.
We've been saying throughout the competition, bake it, flavor, and you've done it perfectly with this sablé.
Thank you.
The macarons look nice. Having said that, the design of the tree sort of bending slightly at the top looks more like a January tree.
What's a January tree?
It's the tree after Christmas, the one that's wilted.
Oh.
The one you leave outside the house. It does look ridiculous.
Your sablé is very buttery and nice and thick. Unfortunately, it's underbaked.
Your design is poor.
Okay.
Your execution of time is poor. Your decoration is poor. It's a shame, Chris.
It's fair.
I like the wreath. I think it's very festive and it's very holiday. Thank you.
Your sablé feels like it's been worked a little bit too much. It's got a slight chew to it. It shouldn't be there.
Okay.
It should melt in the mouth.
The raspberry is almost non-existent to me. When you have the lemon, it just overpowers.
Okay.
Did you sit on your macaron?
No.
It's lost all its height. It's lost all its oomph.
Did you taste the cream before you piped?
Yes.
You did. And did you find it sweet?
Yes.
So why didn't you stop? Because it's cloyingly sweet.
Should have added more of the whipped cream.
Yeah.
Make it less sweet.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Reminds me of a Christmas party for Smurfs.
What I find fascinating about this competition is it's a week-to-week horse race. Cake week, Andrea was store baker. And then here we are in cookie week, and she could be going home.
Alongside that, I thought Chris really performed pretty badly. The top layer of cream sort of ruined it for him, and his sablé was slightly underdone. The flavour wasn't there. There was nothing really to stand it up.
And then we have Jason, who had a great idea, and he just didn't deliver. There was no redeeming quality to anything on that plate.
And John's macarons were not good. They were underbaked, they were flat.
And that cream was so sweet.
It's really difficult, because on a week where we have to lose 2 bakers, the slightest mistake on your bake, you could go home. And it's as simple as that.
This week was tough, but one of you handled the pressure like a true cookie monster. The star baker is Tina. Congratulations.
Good news comes bad news, I'm afraid. 2 of you will be leaving the tent. And the first baker to leave is John. And the second baker to leave the tent is Jason.
It's a pleasure to be here. It's the end of the roller coaster for me, so, it's stopped and now I got to get out and go home, but what a great ride it was. It was fantastic.
Showstopper, although the actual design was good enough, the flavors just weren't there. I think he's a great baker, but to take on these challenges in a tent, it becomes more and more difficult, and John, unfortunately, was just out of his depth.
I'll miss you.
I think it's really sad to see Jason go, and although he did actually quite well in the signature, in the technical, he struggled. He was right down at the bottom. And I think then, coming into the Showstopper, he couldn't perform when he needed to.
I love your creativity.
Thank you. I learned so much from you guys. I really appreciate it. This is a really talented group of people here. To them, I don't have any problems with that at all. I don't think I've ever been happier to do something in my life. Short of marrying my husband, this has been one of the best experiences.
We're gonna miss you.
Miss you guys too.
Tina was a star baker this week, of course, and she brought it. Each bake was perfect. Tina, the cookie girl, I gotta give you a hug.
Thank you. I did it. I actually got star baker. That was like one of my goals. I'm just so happy. So happy.
So we're halfway through the competition now. Do you know what that means?
Christmas carnival?
No, we are down to 6 bakers, all vying for the top spot in our tent of tasty.
Well, if there's no petting zoo, then what am I supposed to do with this reindeer?
I have no idea, and I'm not sure what you're going to do with that goat either. Welcome to the Great American Baking Show Holiday Edition.
Last time in the tent.
It's just a cookie. It's just a cookie.
Tina's passion for cookies.
Oh my God. Oh, wow.
Earned her the title of Star Baker. But with several falling short.
These are horrible.
This is definitely the hardest technical so far.
I can't watch.
Unfortunately, it's raw.
We'll see what happens.
It was John and Jason who ended up leaving the tent.
I'm so sorry.
Now with only 6 remaining, the competition heats up with Bread Week.
Well, it's time to rise to the occasion.
It's time to see who will be the breadwinner
You've done a great job.
and who will be toast.
Pretty much just winging me.
Okay, Emma. We all know how difficult the holidays can be on the diet. So many carbs. But we must get our bodies in shape to prepare.
I get it, but are you actually going to work out with me today?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to do some arms. Here we go. No pain, no gain, Emma. We're in this together. It's Bread Week.
Paul Hollywood is known for his bread. It's a bit intimidating to bake bread for Paul. I'm not completely confident. I want them to be really impressed, but I also just want to survive.
Knowing that breads is Paul's thing makes me want to run and hide, but hopefully I have some good flavors once again that I can pull through that he would appreciate.
Congratulations, bakers. You are amazing. So let's move on to your signature Bread Week bake.
For this challenge, the judges have selected flatbread.
That's right. You must all bake one variety and at least 4 equally sized flatbreads. You have 1 hour and 30 minutes. On your marks.
Get set, bake.
Bread Week. It's Bread Week, something I've got a particular fondness for. The signature challenge is one of my favorite breads of all time. It's the simple flatbread. For me, flatbread should be soft and quite aerated as well.
Well, it's time to rise to the occasion.
There's so many things that could go wrong with a flatbread. Mixing the dough too little, you don't get enough stretch. Mixing too much, and then it can become gummy. A flatbread should be baked in a very, very hot oven. You have to know that as a baker to turn the oven up or to turn the heat up in the pan. So this week, the bakers are gonna have to pull out all the stops. They're not gonna be able to hide anywhere. There's only 6 of them left.
I'm just using it by hand. I have about 2.5 teaspoons of active dry yeast in here.
So the yeast actually is like a gas inside of the bread, and so it makes the bread rise.
Right. Can you tell us all about your flatbread? What have you decided to make?
So my mom is with me in the kitchen today, very much. I am making her cornbread dressing in a flatbread.
Amanda hopes her mom's famous cornbread dressing will remind you of the holidays with the flavours of poultry seasoning, sage and fresh corn, accompanied with a cranberry relish on the side.
Do you use olive oil on the bench?
From you.
Most people would just put a ton of flour down.
Yeah. I don't want a ton of flour.
Are you going to griddle it then?
I'm actually going to cook it in a cast iron skillet.
How long will that take?
It'll be about 2 minutes on each side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Once the dough is formed, the bakers must knead it until it's completely smooth and pliable.
When you're doing the knead, you're building the gluten. You're doing that by ripping it apart.
But if they knead for too long, they may end up overworking a dense interior and gummy texture.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris.
Hi.
Tell us all about your flatbread.
I really wanted to use turmeric, and so I just really started playing with flavors that complemented that. So there's also a little bit of orange zest in here.
Chris hopes to impress the judges with the flavours of turmeric and lemon thyme in his flatbread, which will be finished with a sprinkle of sumac and sea salt.
When do you know that you've
So-
kneaded it enough?
Huh?
To give anything away?
No, it'll be a little smooth and a little less sticky.
Key part to bread is proofing time.
When you proof a bread, it's proof that your yeast is working. So if it rises, you know your yeast is doing its job.
To create a proper rise, the bakers head into the proving drawer in hopes their dough doubles in size.
The longer you proof, the more flavor you impart, it imparts in the bread.
With a limited amount of time in this challenge, it's up to the bakers to determine how long to prove.
So I need about and not even 5 minutes for bake. So I just want to get all of this nice and done.
You don't seem as nervous this week.
I know.
All right, let's see, shall we? So tell us about your dough.
So I have about 2/3 plain flour and about 1/3 bread flour.
Why did you put plain flour in there?
I like a lighter, airier naan.
You think the plain flour brings it lighter?
Maybe, possibly.
So you've added something that technically could be heavier.
Maybe. Yeah.
You nervous now?
Maybe I am. Yeah, I am. So
Please be nice.
Andrea's herby garlic naan will be infused with lemon thyme and fresh rosemary and will be finished with a garlic butter glaze.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Is that a dip, or do you lay that on the top?
It's a dip. I don't know if I want to lay it on top yet. It's a simple pesto that I like to do. Instead of pine nuts, I use almonds and walnuts.
Destiny will put a mixture of fresh garlic, rosemary, thyme and parsley in her flatbread.
Are you using a bake stone or a tray or what?
I am actually using
The bottom of the oven?
Yes, it has a lot of heat down there.
Okay.
This is a little nerve-wracking. I feel like I should be doing something. At home, I definitely don't stand by the counter while the dough is proofing.
that rain.
Good morning, Jeevan.
Good morning.
Isn't it lovely weather we're having at the moment?
It's the best. I couldn't imagine anything better.
Inspired by flavours from the Middle East, Jeevan's Sattar flatbread will feature a custom-made blend of crusted herbs, spices and toasted sesame seed, tangy yogurt dipping sauce on the side.
The za'atar, you put it on before it goes in the oven.
I'm actually going to be cooking on the cast iron skillet, and I'll be brushing it with the za'atar once it comes off of there. I mean, if I had it exactly my way, I'd make it in a tandoor oven.
I'm waiting for the ark to come floating past.
What's going on? Bakers, you have half an hour.
With the clock running out, it's up to the bakers to determine how much longer to proof for. Proving for too long could leave the bakers with no time to move on to the crucial step of cutting and shaping their dough.
Portion it into pieces. I want them to weigh the same so that they all are the same shape and size.
Hello.
Hey, hello,
Hi, Tina.
Star
I'm good.
Baker.
Cookies and bread are two different animals, that's for sure.
What flour are you using?
I'm using bread flour and some chickpea flour.
Why?
It adds like a nice nutty flavor to it.
Tina hopes her flatbread will pack a flavorful punch by adding grated garlic and chopped dill and topping it with lemon zest and kosher salt.
I'm going to shape them into balls. I'm going to let them rest for a while.
So what's this? It's easier to do it at two. Your hands are the same
Oh,
size
they're
as mine.
beautiful. They look like mine.
So now I'm going to roll these into flat rounds.
Want to make sure I got pretty even sizes. Paul pays attention to that a lot.
So this is turmeric. It has like a citrusy note to it.
Whoa, Jack. Whoa.
Strong.
Oh, God, dog, man. Why do I keep doing it though? Like,
you like that?
You make this taste good, man. Straight up.
This is the first one.
I'm gonna do it 2 minutes each side. You can put them in the oven, but I like the color that I get from a cast iron skillet.
Bakers, you have 15 minutes.
15 minutes.
Is that real? Didn't do my calculations. 4 flatbreads, 2 minutes each side, so that's 16. Yeah, I probably should have started a little sooner.
You have 15 minutes.
Yeah, I probably should have started a little sooner.
So I'm gonna brush on some olive oil and then sprinkle it with the za'atar.
I decided to put some on. This is too good to not taste.
1 minute left.
1 minute, bakers.
Is that really 1 minute? Okay.
Time is not my friend today.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Time is up, guys.
Give each other a high five. Did awesome.
Hello, Tina.
Hi.
Fairly consistent. They go start big and then they go a little bit smaller. They're a little bit like cardboard, and that's down to the chickpea flour.
Okay.
The chickpea flour will make it snap rather than just slightly stretch and make it a little bit more elastic.
I do like the flavor. It kind of wakes my tongue up.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you. Thank you, Tina. First look, I love the blistering.
And I love the color. It's almost crumpet-like, and that's a good indication you managed to achieve a good heat in the pan.
Good. I love the tanginess from the yogurt, and the crumb is tender. I like this one.
I think you've done a decent job.
Thank you.
I like it.
Thank you.
I like the display. Your dough's too thick. Yeah, half that. You would have been in a much stronger position.
On the inside, it's not cooked through and through because it's so thick.
And this has got the pesto on the top.
Yeah, I put a light smear on.
Well, your flavors are normally very good. I think this one's a bit sickly. I don't like the flavor in this.
You eat cornbread during the holidays?
No.
What? You don't eat cornbread?
No.
You tripping.
Well, I will do in a minute. The corn doesn't carry much flavor in there,
Right.
but it does. It makes a great texture, and I think it's baked well. Actually, just think you lack the flavor.
Yeah, I think the concept is great. Just needs a little more punch.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really work that dough.
You work the dough. Yeah. It has a very gummy texture to it.
Why did you work that dough so long on the table?
Oh, you're right. I was building up the glutens.
What? Yeah, but why?
That's really all I know about bread.
Is bread your thing?
No.
I'm struggling for flavor. There is a flavor, but it takes a while to come through, and it is very subtle.
Turmeric brings a very delicate flavor. Although it has incredible health benefits, it didn't bring the other flavors together.
Okay.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
But thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
This This is my za'atar crusted flatbread.
I love all the blistering. I love the char.
The za'atar topping is perfect. The blends are all there. It's baked beautifully. You've got fantastic colours. I mean, happy that colour in a Bedouin tent as it would be in this tent. Well done, mate.
Thank you.
That is exactly what I was looking for.
Incredibly well done.
It's stunning.
Thank you very much.
Lunch. It's lunch.
I got a handshake for the signature challenge of all things. That's what I've been struggling with the most.
You know, today, probably not my best bake, but, you know, I have 2 more challenges to go. I couldn't even begin to think what the technical might be. I think it might be Paul's choice this week, and he is definitely the king of bread, so it could be anything.
It's time for your technical challenge.
You are making a kangalang, a Swedish Christmas bread.
I was just thinking to myself, Cannalang.
As always, our judges will critique this dish without knowing who's baked what. So we are going to ask you to leave the tent, please. You have 2 hours to bake your kangalang. On your marks.
Get set. Bake.
What is this?
I'm just trying to figure out what's a kangalang.
I don't know what it is. Don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, I have no idea.
I thought they were saying Cadillac.
You chose the kangalang for this week's technical challenge.
It's an unusual bake, this. They probably wouldn't have heard of it before. Now, this is an enriched dough. What I mean by that, butter, egg, sugar. So when those particular ingredients go in with flour, the yeast, and the liquid, it can slow the yeast up, and the proving will take slightly longer.
So many little trials and tribulations. I mean, it's because it's an enriched dough, it's much more sensitive.
Exactly. We're testing them on their dough manipulation. You're looking for a nice, even pattern all the way down. It's about doing it alternately, but they must overlap, and that'll form the cannelang. If it's a loose roll, you won't get that beautiful spiral.
It smells like Christmas morning.
It does, doesn't it? It does.
Instruction 1, make the dough. Getting this dough the correct way is gonna be the challenging part.
I think if I knew what this was supposed to look like, it would be better.
So I've got my dry ingredients here. Now I'm gonna prepare the wet ingredients, which is butter, milk, and half an egg, which I don't know how one halves an egg.
Not a whole egg, just half an egg.
You don't want it too hot because it'll kill the yeast. We're way too long doing this.
Since I've warmed my milk and my butter, that's gonna start activating the yeast. Now I'm gonna knead it to activate the gluten. And I sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I have no clue.
Now I'm just popping a proofing bag over it. Gonna pop it in my proofer.
We aren't told exactly how long to do each proving stage for. Pretty much just winging it.
Reading the directions, make the vanilla butter and the cinnamon sugar.
It could be right. Not right?
Making some cannelang.
Bakers, you have 1 hour left.
Halfway there.
Why are they torturing me?
I just took it out from the first proof. It says roll out 40 by 30 centimeters. So I am going to use my ruler and measure today.
We have dough.
I'm spreading the vanilla butter over my dough, and I'm gonna sprinkle it with the cinnamon sugar, which were the instructions that made the most sense to me.
Roll up the dough like a Swiss roll. I'm not sure how to roll it, whether to roll from the long end.
Because the recipe doesn't say how to roll or cut the dough, it's up to the bakers to decide. And once it's cut, there's no going back.
Make 14 equal cuts into the roll and pull each slice out to alternating sides.
I'm just gonna look at it for a while until I decide what to do.
This is a tough one.
Just cut it. Just cut the damn thing.
I don't know how the Swedish do it.
Snipped it. I didn't want to press down on my dough. because I know it'll make it flat.
I think that's 14. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Whoops. They're not gonna be even.
It says turn every other one to the opposite side. Hopefully, if it's the wrong shape, it still tastes good.
I think I have an idea of what the design is supposed to be, but I could very easily be wrong.
That one's going that way.
It's debating whether or not they're supposed to be standing up or sideways, like this or like this.
Proof again.
It has to go back in proof for a little bit longer. Once it started its final proof, it can't be touched.
So now it says make the icing. Add satsuma to the icing sugar.
It doesn't say add the juice. It doesn't say.
Are you talking to yourself?
I am. Going a little crazy here.
As the bakers finish their second proof,
I think I'm happy with it.
they move their canneleng into the oven to ensure enough time for baking and decorating their bread.
Smells so good. I just want to eat it.
Getting brown. I'm gonna try to keep it in the oven for as long as I possibly can.
I want to bite my nails, and I'm not a nail biter person.
Hopefully the flavors are there. That's what I'm hoping for.
1 minute left. 60 seconds.
Get that icing on.
I want it to look pretty. This is stressful.
5, 4, 3, 2,
1.
0.
You've been doing your thing. Now bring down your thing.
And place it behind your photo.
Paul and Sherry are looking for an evenly rolled and shaped golden brown bread with a perfectly proved texture and zesty orange flavoured icing.
Let's start over here. The issue with this, you have that swirl that goes in, and they sort of started okay, and then I don't know what happened here. It's like they've gotten the wrong way around.
Oh, it's still warm.
There is a good flavour.
The baking looks great, through and through.
But moving on, and I quite like the icing on this.
I'm very impressed. I think it looks like it's baked very well.
They're all 10, they're all facing the right way. It's very good. You see the lines are beautiful, they're all joined up. Now, this one's not alternate, it's just 2 by 2 by 2. The bake is okay. It's quite a strong bake.
I get a lot more orange on this one.
It's the icing. But I like that. I think it works. Okay, moving on. This is slightly unusual. It's a little bit all over the place, this one. You see the shape of it? It's almost elongated, isn't it? Instead of round. Now, moving on to this one, these are alternate, but you can see the slightly oblong.
Right, the dough is thicker here
Yeah.
and then thinner here. So then you wind up with...
Yeah,
The cinnamon is incorporated very well.
it is. Got a nice flavour
And
to
it
it.
has a great bake, great color. Next. This looks like a loaf, like
It
a whole
does.
loaf of bread.
It does. Looks quite bulky, doesn't it? It's a bit raw in the middle. Because it's so dense. There was a problem with the actual spiral in the middle.
The judges will announce 6th place and work their way up to number 1.
Number 6, Jeevan. It just needed a little more time.
Tina is in 5th place, Chris is in 4th, and Amanda is in 3rd.
Is perfect as far as your bake is concerned and your proof and your flavors. The orange was great over the top. It just, it wasn't layered. Well done overall.
Thank you.
In first place, Destiny. Is this the first time you've won a technical challenge?
Yes.
And what a one to win, because that was tricky. I think that's fantastic. Well done.
I cannot believe I just got first in technical. I cannot pronounce the name, but it might be my new...
Definitely right in the middle for the technical. So I'm kind of just holding on by the seat of my pants. Tomorrow, I'm gonna have to just really make sure everything looks spot on.
We do have some very good talent in the tent, and I think that it's going to be interesting to see what everybody comes up with today.
Bread Week's tough. I mean, the judges are definitely being tough this week. Hopefully I can put forward a good bake and make it to the semifinals.
Every day when you look in the mirror and you do your intense stare, on Bread Week, do you do like a sinister laugh? Like, bread is my specialty.
No. But I do smile, because obviously Bread Week is something I enjoy.
Who do you think is up for Star Baker this week?
Andrea. Now, she's been Star Baker before, but she's still sitting at the top.
Amanda's done well as well. But the ones in trouble for me are Tina and Chris.
Tina and Chris have both been Star Bakers, and now they're in trouble this week.
Paul, you tell us, is there a curse?
It has happened in the past in the tent. Oh, that's it, I can relax. But it doesn't work like that. To become the winner in the tent, you have to be consistent in all aspects of baking, not just cookies or pastry or cakes or bread.
All right, bakers, it's time for the showstopper.
And you've got your hands full today because Sherry and Paul have requested a bread sculpture.
That's right. We're looking for the Michelangelo to making dough.
This sculpture must be at least 2 different flavors. It can be free, but it must be made with a yeast dough. And of course, it has to be festive.
Yeah.
You have 4.5 hours on your marks.
Get set, bake.
I am starting with both of my doughs so I can get them in for the first proof. Feeling a little frazzled. I've made these breads before, but no sculptures.
Bread is very hard as a sculpting medium. You shape it and it looks great. Then you have to let it rise, and then it gets even a little more rise in the oven, so it's difficult to work with.
For me, what I'm looking for is complementary flavors, a real punch when you bite into it, a fantastic design, and a great bake.
I think this is a great way for the bakers to bring on their creativity. What I hope for is that they get bold. Now is not the time to be safe. They've got to wow us. After this week, they're headed to the semifinals. Hey, Chris.
Hi, guys.
So tell us all about your showstopper.
I'm doing a holiday wreath, and then I'm gonna do some candles in the center of that. These are aluminum molds that I'll be baking the candles in.
Chris, where did you get these?
Those are from a hardware store. They're normally used for air conditioner.
Yeah, one of my favorite places is the hardware store to find pastry items.
Yeah.
Chris's spiced holiday centerpiece will feature a wreath made of an almond orange bread with 3 chai sweet bread candles sparkling in the center.
Is that a plaited wreath or is that a twist?
It's plaited. I'm just doing a 3-strand pull.
A 3? Is that it?
Well, I was going to do a 4, but it's the size of the oven that was kind of...
Don't give me that waffle. Because you could do the same dough and do an 8.
But I need these to fit inside for the candles.
Thank you, Chris.
I'm getting my liquid ingredients mixed in with the dry ingredients, and then I'm gonna knead it for a while.
I just add my flour. Some people put it in all at once. I don't think there's a right way, or maybe there is, and I'm not doing it the right way. I don't know.
Morning, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea.
Tell us about your dough.
When we went to the Azores for my 40th birthday party, I fell in love with their Portuguese sweetbread, and so I wanted to make it for you.
Andrea's bread sculpture is sweetbread for Santa's hat, a citrus bread for his face, and a combination of the two for his beard.
I'm going to assemble the hat and the face and start working on the beard. The beard is going to be very thin strands.
Does he look a bit like me?
Yeah.
Fat and white hair.
I hope he looks like Santa when he comes out. We'll see.
Morning, Destiny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Destiny.
Came to scare me.
Would you like to tell us all about your bread sculpture, please?
I'm making a holiday flower pot.
Are you really?
Yes.
I remember doing my first flower was early 80s.
Okay.
You said 1800s? Yeah. Sorry? I couldn't hear you, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Destiny's holiday flower pot will feature a braided basil bread and sun-dried tomato pot and poinsettias.
You're just going to rub that with a little bit of oil, and then it'll rise
It'll
up
rise
to
a
about
second
here.
rise. Yeah.
That's going to fill your oven, isn't it?
Yeah.
I look forward to it. Thank you very much.
This is the chocolate babka dough. I'm gonna pop it in the proofing drawer.
This will pretty much rise to the top of that container in an hour.
Most of the bake finished and in the proving drawer and are now working on getting the second dough ready.
So this dough I'm working on right now is my grandmother's sweet dough. I must have been about 18 or 19 and dying to get the recipe. So I actually sat down with her and measured everything. And every time I make it, it tastes like how she makes it, and it just brings her right back.
Tina's Christmas Eve centerpiece will showcase her grandmother's Easter bread with nutmeg and orange as the leaves and flowers, and a panettone bread with golden raisins for the box.
The second dough, I'm doing it in about 8 inches by 4 inches. It's going to be a rectangle.
In first apartment.
Living room, bedroom, bathroom.
Thank you very much, Tina.
You're
Good
welcome.
luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's too soft. It's too soft. I need to redo my Portuguese bread.
We are halfway there.
Halfway there.
I have a little bit of time. I'm gonna try it again.
Today, my bread is going to weave a bit of tradition from our family's Christmas as well as our friends' celebration of Hanukkah.
Amanda's holiday tower will feature a Kalamata olive fougasse tree, circled with a sun-dried tomato and feta challah wreath, and topped with a challah star. With their first proof finished,
Well, that's pretty good.
the bakers can now add their filling.
With fresh basil, I am looking for flavor to erupt throughout this.
And then shape their dough.
Can you imagine if the hairstylist came in here and did an awful braid? That would not be showstopper worthy.
Before putting them in for a second proof.
What are we going to look forward to then? Using hazelnut again?
Yes. And I'm actually gonna use a bit of this feuilletine here in the filling as well.
What is feuilletine?
Feuilletine are crispy crepe flakes.
I'm trying like caramel little biscuits, flakes.
So I'm thinking about dusting it with a bit of powdered sugar, and then also for an added decorative element, I might not have any feuilletine left.
I like feuilletine. I think it's safe to say that I like it.
Jeevan's holiday bread wreath will feature a braided vanilla bread on top of a braided chocolate hazelnut babka.
Which Jeevan's going to turn up for the challenge? Is it the one that just blows everyone away, or is it one that crawls along the bottom? Try and keep it consistent, please.
I'm trying.
Thank you.
Consistently inconsistent.
Yes, exactly.
All right, that's done. Now it's just down to timing, getting everything done in time. In about 20 minutes, when my dough is risen, I'm gonna pull it out and I'm gonna start assembling.
While Andrea waits for her doughs to fully prove, the rest of the bakers have started doing their final touches before putting them in the oven.
1 hour left, bakers!
Minutes to bake my challah, and then I'll have some cool time.
It's taking longer. It should go through the second rise. Typically, they would be at the top already. I only have like 15 more minutes max before I need to start baking. It's taking longer. It should go through the second rise. Typically, they would be at the top already. In an ideal world, I would probably just scrap this dough and start over, but there's no time for that, so I have to go with what I got.
They're both out to decorate now.
"30 minutes left, bakers."
That should be okay.
Oh, it's in.
Nice and rustic looking. It didn't explode in the oven.
Once they've cooled off, I'm going to move them over to the platter.
Bakers, you have only 5 minutes left.
I want it to be a little dark.
10,
9, 8,
7, 6,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up.
It's time to find out which of you is a beast with the yeast.
Tina, you're up first.
The bottom looks just like a box. It's incredibly festive. It makes a spectacular centerpiece.
Oh, thank you.
What is this one again? This is
That's the orange and nutmeg. That's a sweet bread.
The flavour is delicious.
Oh.
And the bake is fantastic. On something so small, you've managed to get a little bit of texture running through. And this bread?
Bottom bread is flavored with lemon zest, vanilla, raisins.
This bread is like eating cake. When you get the raisin, it pops, and it's delicious, and it's buttery.
I'm really impressed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I like the detail that you put into it, whether it's cutting the lines so you have all the swirls in the beard and the braiding across the top of the hat.
Thank you.
The sweeter one is a bit boring,
Okay.
and you could have introduced a flavour into that to liven that up a bit.
When you try the breads side by side, there's nothing that really separates them from one another. And I find them both on the dry side.
Okay.
I like the design. I love the two different colours with the chocolate dough underneath as well, the sort of babka style.
I love the technique that you used in the rolling and the shaping. It really is intricate and well done.
I think your flavours are great. You got cinnamon in there, sugar, really good. Okay. That is a triumph.
Babka, my husband and I have this saying, you don't know babka. And you, Jeevan, know babka.
Thank you.
Drop the mic. Amanda, your piece certainly is grand. The bake on the challah really looks spectacular.
I think we'll start with the challah. Your actual proving technique is fantastic.
It's very cake-like with the olive oil in there, so it makes it tough. And the fougasse.
I think the baking is good. Overall, I quite like the flavour, actually. It's a bit of an achievement. As a piece of artwork using bread, I think it's very clever. That looks baked quite well.
My first observation, though, was looking at the pot, the sun-dried bread, and how underproofed it is. You can see where you have that line where it's tearing almost. That's because the yeast on the inside truly wasn't fully fermented.
We'll start with the basil bread, or basil.
Basil or basil.
A lot more herbs to it. That would have brought out more flavour.
I think your basil dough could have had some more water. That would have opened it up, made it a little bit easier to roll as well. I see you had lines on the side from where you're really stretching it.
Okay, let's try the sun-dried tomato. I think your dough's actually baked okay. The biggest flaw is your flavours.
Destiny, you always bring us incredible flavors, and then we've been concerned about the execution. This time, your flavors don't have the same punch. The candles look as though they're underproofed. You can see where the escape out.
Okay. We'll have a taste and see. It feels quite dense.
The aromas are beautiful. I mean, it's almost as though I'm drinking a cup of chai.
The flavour's good. I do like the flavour, but the baking is wrong. It's underproofed and underbaked. Likewise with this one as well. When you put the initial dough in the mould, where was it relative to the mould itself? Was it touching the side when you put it in and it had to grow up?
Yes.
They'll never do that. You see how dense it is around the outside. It's trying, and when it reaches the outside, that's it. It stops.
Okay.
It doesn't push up. So you end up with a very dense dough. It's not baked.
Okay.
Great flavour. Your flavours are great, but your bread baking is not good.
Okay.
Who do you think's in line for Star Baker?
They're up in the bar here. It's getting tough. I think Jeevan brought it with that flatbread with the za'atar.
I'd have to agree. That chocolate bread is one of the best chocolate breads I've ever had. I think Jeevan moved himself almost in line for Star Bakery. I think Amanda's been fairly constant, but the overall look of that was very, very clever, and I think it was baked to perfection too. I think where we are in the moment for losing someone today, I think Chris has struggled on each of these challenges.
I thought Chris's flavors were good.
Destiny did an amazing design, but I'm not quite sure she picked the right flavours.
So unusual for her.
That's so surprising for Destiny because she brings it every time.
Has Destiny done enough to go through to the semi-final? I don't know. We're looking for the best 5 to go through.
One of you took it to the next level this week. Our Star Baker this week is Amanda. Well done.
I hate this part. The baker leaving us today is Chris.
Lucky Billy.
You know, baking for me is a passion. It's not just a hobby. And it's something that I'll continue to do, but it was time for me to go today.
You've done well, but bread's not your thing, is it?
But I'm gonna practice.
Good.
I'm just ready to get home to my husband and give him a big hug. My experience here has been very humbling, very rewarding, and I will cherish it for a long time.
I want to help with the bread. I want to help you with bread.
I would love to learn.
Chris is such a talented baker. It just wasn't his week. I want to go back and help him. We can back and bake great breads.
Bye, guys.
Enjoy your days off.
Congratulations. Thank you. I have some good news.
What?
I got Star Baker for Bread Week.
Oh my God, that's so awesome!
Congratulations.
The last 20 years have been about supporting my husband and my children. And so now they've become my cheerleaders and my support system. And this feels great.
Well done, Amanda.
Thank you so much.
You did really well.
Yeah, thank
well
you.
done. I think Amanda did a fantastic job on Bread Week. I think she was the most consistent that we had and deserves to be Star Baker. Fantastic job.
Honored.
Next week it's semi-final. A few of them have already got Star Baker coming in. There's a lot of confidence in the 10th, and it's anybody's game.
In the tranquil night under the starlit sky, I find solace in the stillness as time goes by. Softly beats press my soul like a gentle kiss. In this peaceful moment, there's nothing missed. I chill in the air. Find our way. In the quiet of the night, we find our peace. A melody of stars above sweet reed. Lovely beats and chills, stare dreams we start to sway. In this down-tempo groove, we'll find our way.
The world outside may rush and spin, but in this moment it's just us within. Lofi vibes and chills, that highs will softly soar. In this tranquil rhythm we'll explore. Chill in love, we let the worries go. In this musical embrace, our hearts aglow. Down in Poe dreams where time stands still. In the chill step flow, we find our thrill.
Soft piano keys and a mellow vibe. With every note we come alive. Lo-fi whispers in a gentle breeze. In this calm we find our inner peace.
The world outside may rush and spin, but in this moment it's just us within. Lofi vibes and chill step highs will softly soar. In this tranquil rhythm we'll explore. Chill in low, we let the worries go. In this musical embrace, our hearts aglow. Down in Poe dreams where time stands still. In the chill step flow, we find our thrill.
In the echoes of a distant melody, we find our sanctuary where we long to be. Lovely just stepping down to broken mind. In this harmony, our souls entwined.
Chillin' low, we let the worries go. In this musical embrace, our hearts aglow. Down in Poe dreams where time stands still. In the chill step flow, we find our thrill.
As the night embraces the breaking dawn, in this tranquil rhythm we dawn.